Hello, mate.
Welcome to this episode of the Postmodern family, and after watching this, if you like what you've seen, go ahead and give us a like.
This is one of our first videos where we are using our new camera, so shout out to JT Wills for selling us his old A5000 Sony. Also, if you didn't know, we're making videos now 3 times a week, so Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and if you like our videos, please subscribe.
So last week we went on a group trip to Hastings. Hastings is famous for
the Battle of Hastings.
Internationally, globally, that's what people think of when they think of Hastings, which is where the Norman conquest began when William the Conqueror landed.
What happened?
She's so excited about history, as is my wife, when I go rambling on about it. In actual fact, it's about, look at her, those tears coming down. It's about 7 or 8 miles north of there where the battle took place, in a place called Battle.
Yeah, it's actually called Battle.
So Hastings isn't where...
So have you ever been to Battle? Yes, I have.
We have.
We've been to Battle. We went on a church trip to Hastings, and it was really fun because there were about 50 people there and a bunch of families and children and people of all ages. We found like the last seats on the bus were on the way back on the top, and everyone noticed that Felipe was wearing shorts. Everyone else had like long trousers on and like hiking boots, and they were in rain gear, right? And they were all bundled up. And then here we were, the Americans, you in your shorts and me in my flip-flops. The title of this trip was a beach trip. Yeah, so that was really funny. Definitely very American.
Yeah, so the bus trip was fun. The kids got to sit in the front of the double-decker and see everything from high, and we got to chat, but and not have to drive all the way down. Got there, I guess we hadn't remembered that the battle actually took place in Battle and not in Hastings. So I kept thinking, oh, this is really exciting. We're going to go back to the side of the Battle of Hastings, and I read like an old book I had bought about Hastings.
So he walks onto the bus carrying this text. Everyone also notices that. History of England, Volume 1. Yes. So he was holding it and reading on Battle of Hastings, and he kept telling people, yeah, we've been to Hastings before, we've been there before. And then when we got there, I was like, I don't think we've ever been here. And it was because where we had been was at Battle and not Hastings. So, what did we do in Hastings? Tell us the overview.
Well, there were several activities planned. Hastings has become, the town of Hastings is like a seaside town, and it's become mainly like a fishing village. It's become really touristy, so they have like a miniature golf course on the coast. They have a big playground for kids right on the beach. There's a little like a recreated fishing village.
They had trampolines, like big ones that you could just pay to jump on.
Yeah.
We're going for a ride on the train. Is there only one stop? So we took a ride on the train, and she really enjoyed that.
But it also had a smallish aquarium, and we took all the kids there, and they had all kinds of fish. The main attraction, though, was an octopus that they had, and they fed it. They had a guy who gave a talk on it, and they fed it, and really interesting details about it. And then there was this one large pool with a bunch of fish, and they had
stingrays, right?
Stingrays that were kind of coming up above the water to say hi to people. Of course, now every aquarium has the Finding Nemo fish. So you had the clownfish, and then you had the dory fish.
Blue steel, I forget the name. Yeah, so we had the Finding Nemo, the Nemo marlin fish, and dories, a lot of dories. So that was nice because she recognized them. She really loves that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, we had the best fish and chips that we've ever had during this trip.
They had pre-arranged for a large order of fish and chips from a fish and chip shop that was off the coast, because near the coast apparently they just give you the thinnest crappy fish that they're not going to sell raw in the open market. So if you go inland more, the fish and chip shops have to compete with better quality fish. So that's what we did, and it was a large, nice fresh white fish with nice crispy chips or fries. And it was a massive meal. A lot of people didn't end up eating it.
Much. And you had to eat it with your hands. I was like, where's the fork and knife?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, eat it with your hands. So we're like picking apart this meaty fish. And we're just like eating like barbarians almost, but it was delicious. So it was a beautiful day. And then we met back at the bus around 4 o'clock to head home.
This is what happens with pregnant people. You have to push them up the hill. Look at this lady. Look at this lady. She's dying.
It's about an hour drive to where everyone met up at the church. And it was so hot in the bus that we were like finally the ones prepared, because everyone else was like taking off their sweaters, and they were all very, very hot, and we were comfortable because we dressed for the beach. So overall, we liked Hastings. It was a beautiful day. I think for me it was worth it just to go and spend some time with our church family. Thank you guys so much for watching our video on Hastings. I hope you liked our footage. And if you like it, give us a like, leave us a comment if you've been to Hastings before, if we've missed something about Hastings that we probably should have talked about, let us know. And if you want to see more of these, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. Look it, we're saying bye.